Numbers can tell a powerful story. Like 1946, the year Alpha Insurance was founded, or the more than 1 million policies currently in force. Backed up by superior service from a local agent right in your community. For 65 years, we've been right there with you. We're looking forward to the next 65.
For a plan built just for you, contact Talisa Scheichel in Holly Pond.
Smith Lake RV Resort, where you escape the stress. Make it your year-round residential, weekend, or vacation getaway. See nice lakeside lots with scenic natural beauty and terrific amenities. Enjoy an on-site swimming pool, a bath and wash house, boat slips for your boat, special events and shows. Smith Lake RV Resort offers water frontages on majestic Smith Lake. Smith Lake RV Resort at Crane Hill. In for the first TD. On the next, the 2012 football season is underway here in Cullman County. Last night, the West Point Warriors paid a visit to the Good Hope Raiders in a jamboree game, which of course got underway without much fanfare. Both teams were jittery, and their play was spotty, much to the chagrin of the two coaches. In fact, one coach will end up getting a penalty for kind of mouthing off a little bit over a call. But other than that, the two teams were between the 20s mostly. However, Good Hope did manage to get the ball down on a fumble very close to the end zone and then move the ball in for a 6-0 lead. Extra point was good, and that bounced them up to a very, very nice lead early on in the late first quarter, I believe. And then as the second quarter got underway, it was West Point's turn. And they capitalized on some errors by the Good Hope Raiders, moved the ball in, scored, but the extra point at that point was no good. Now, Monday evening, we'll have a report from this game and review some other games as well for you. So we'll have all the final scores of those jamboree games that being played last night and will be played on this Friday evening. So, the 2012 football season underway, lots of excitement, and we'll have a lot more for you on Inside Cullman County Football with interviews from the coaches, which all begins this coming Monday. Hope that you'll join us. The program will broadcast at 7 p.m. each evening, Monday through Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. on Friday, and 9:30 a.m. on Saturday. We'll have the Saturday football scoreboard. Join us, won't you?
Get acquainted with Affordable Automotive in Welty. Affordable Automotive offers a full complement of service features for your car, truck, van, SUV, and other vehicles. Affordable Automotive also features a full line of famous Bridgestone tires. Stop in and check out the quality of famous Firestone and Peerless tires. Get a size and style that you need. Affordable Automotive offers towing service 24/7. Simply call 739-2290. Affordable Automotive, conveniently located in the heart of Welty.
Hi, I'm Leah Patterson-Lust, your probate judge, and I'm seeking re-election in the November general election. The office of probate judge is vital. It serves in many capacities. I'm proud to lead a highly skilled, dedicated, efficient, and experienced office here to serve you in our county. We function as a team. I humbly request your vote, confidence, and support in the general election this November. Vote Leah Patterson-Lust, probate judge.
to our obituaries for this Friday. Funeral services for Harold C. Vine, age 85 of Hansville, will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. at Coleman Funeral Home Chapel. Interment in Rock Springs Baptist Church Cemetery in Blount County. Coleman Funeral Home is directing. Visitation will be tomorrow, noon until 2 p.m. at the funeral home. Funeral services for Reba Dion Gaither Penton, age 60 of Bogalusa, Louisiana, will be Sunday at 2 p.m. at Coleman Funeral Home Chapel. Burial at Bethlehem Cemetery in Good Hope. Miss Penton passed away on Wednesday. Graveside services for Freddie Mike Holmes, age 60 of Hansville, will be today at 10 a.m. at Sandlin Cemetery. Reverend Johnny Hobbs will officiate. Coleman Funeral Home directing. Mr. Holmes passed away on Wednesday at UAB Hospital. Funeral services for Levon Cohn, age 79 of Crane Hill, will be held tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Hansville Funeral Home Chapel. Junior Garman will officiate interment in Bethany Cemetery in Crane Hill. Mr. Cohn passed away yesterday. Funeral services for Paul L. Moore, age 76, will be tomorrow at Etha Baptist Church. Reverends Stanley Kilgore and Randy Moore will officiate. Interment will be at Etha Cemetery. The body will lie in state from 10 a.m. until the service. Coleman Heritage is directing. Mr. Moore died on Wednesday. Funeral services for T.J. Papa King, age 71 of Vinemont, will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Cornerstone Revival Center. Reverend Greg Wilbanks officiating. Interment in Panama Cemetery in Vinemont. Body will lie in state from 10 a.m. until the service. Mr. King passed away yesterday. Visitation will be tonight, 6 to 8 p.m. at the funeral home. Those are our obituaries for this Friday, brought to you by Moss Service and Hansville Funeral Home.
Welcome to Today on 2. It is Friday, the 24th day of August. Clear skies, Paige.
Clear skies again.
No clouds.
No clouds.
Let's check the weather and see what's going on, especially with Tropical Storm Isaac headed our way. A reminder, our weather is brought to you by Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. There's the weather almanac for the 24th of August. The average high temperature is 91. The average low is 65. The record, once again, set in the summer of 2007, got up to 103 degrees. The record low, 49 in 1997. Sunset this evening at 7:23. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:16. There you can see the tracking map of Tropical Storm Isaac. People in the Florida Keys are preparing for the storm to hit sometime Sunday or Monday and then headed toward our part of the country about the middle of next week. They say The Florida Panhandle, Gulf Shores, and so forth is in the track. But so far, the good news is the winds have not exceeded much more than 40 miles an hour. You'll see the dark blue outline. That indicates tropical storm warnings. Yesterday, they were in red, indicating hurricane warnings. So perhaps we may end up with just a tropical storm. There's the satellite picture. You can see what's going on now around the country. And we have one more satellite picture over the southeast. Should be another beautiful day today. Sunny skies, a high around 90. Clear tonight, low near 66. Sunny tomorrow, high of 87. More of the same on Sunday. And then you'll see the rain chances, slight chance before any of the tropical storm. If it gets as far as North Alabama, it'll be probably next weekend before it gets to our area with some rain. But anyway, well, that's going to mess up football next weekend. I just thought of that.
No.
Uh-oh. Friday night football starts next Friday, doesn't it? They had Jamboree games last night. College football starts next weekend. Wow. Well, let's see. When our program ended the opening yesterday, our episode with Paige in the car.
Yes.
Her car would not start.
That's right.
She came to work in a gigantic pickup truck. Paige had to lean like this to touch the pedals.
Pretty much. You know, like I said yesterday, I'm only about 5'1", so, you know, driving Jeff's truck was a little difficult for me. So, yes.
So what has happened since yesterday morning?
Since yesterday, I am so blessed to have such a wonderful stepdad that he took off work and came and got my vehicle for me, and my grandfather also. I can't leave him out. They came and got my car from the place that it was at, and they had to replace the battery. So it was only a battery, so that's good. But the funny thing about my car, they told me that they had to take off the fender and the tire to get into my car to replace the battery. So I don't know. I guess my car is strange.
Doesn't it have a hood?
It does have a hood.
Oh, okay.
I hear Daniel cracking up in there from that.
Yeah, I've never heard of removing the fender and
I
the tire.
haven't either. My mother was also a little concerned about that, but it'll be okay. My car is running great now. I don't have to drive a gigantic truck anymore, which is fabulous. So.
And your grandfather has quite a bit of experience.
Yes, if we ever have car problems, we always call him. He used to own Shaw's Auto Repair, and that was where Bryan Business Solutions is now. That used to be his garage. And before that, he owned a Shell station in Coleman, and it was all self-serve, or not self-serve, where they would come and pump your gas. It's sad that I don't know what that's called. But yes, he's
full service.
Full service.
Full
and
service
you know,
station.
they finally years later, after he started the Shell station, went to self-service, but he would still pump people's gas. So
okay, so you're back in good shape. Cars
back
running.
in good shape. Cars running.
Okay. Well, let's see. Who's our Facebook friend of the day for today? I think we have a friend, don't we?
We do. We have a friend. I know we do.
Oh, that was yesterday.
That was yesterday's.
Who's our
Today's
friend
Facebook friend of the day is Bob Cheney, who graduated from Coleman High School in 1966 and works at Bob Cheney and Associates.
Yeah, we know Bob Cheney. There he is.
There he is.
Good insurance agent. Bob Cheney, our Facebook friend of the day. Well, let's talk about our program for today.
That's right. The program for today is our That's Politics show, and we have Rusty Turner coming to visit us, and also Max Townson.
That's what we have lined up. The political panel, George Spear, Tom Burleson, Tom Drake are here and ready to go. So we'll talk politics right after this commercial break.
I'm open for opinion, Sergeant. What's yours?
Well, I figure we have about an hour and a half.
Before what?
We know what's back there coming our way. Tanks. When they catch up to us, we'll be sitting ducks. Period.
Combat. A Selmer production.
ride of your life, you'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals too low to believe. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
Welcome back to That's Politics. Even as we speak, we're waiting for our first guest. So we're hoping that they'll show up this morning. We had a caller yesterday morning, both times, I'll tell you. Yesterday morning I had a caller. I was talking about that there was an individual filing suit, a former state representative or senator, I think it might have been a former state senator, filing suit against the governor for not having a balanced budget.
That's the law.
They said that you can't depend on the September 18th referendum to take money from the Oil and Gas Trust Fund to provide your funding, that you should have level funding now.
1946 was when it was passed too, by the way. And
46?
Yeah, and I really believe it, of course, they may put it off or something, but I think that is the law.
Yeah. I guess by the letter of the law, that they may not be following the law. But the point I was making yesterday was that, and here, if we got another lawsuit, how are they going to pay for another lawsuit? And I said, here the governor's not taking a paycheck. He's not getting a salary. But there's a lady called in, and she said, well, he's getting something.
Well, I can tell you this, and everybody that I know that's ever been to Montgomery knows this, that a lot of them will say we're not going to take her money, but in the end, when they leave, they get it all.
That's right.
And every one of them has done that too.
Is that right? Who's been one who said that and wound up getting paid at the end of the term?
Well, as I recall, all of them have. I don't know the names of all of them, but I know that every one of them, and that's what they're predicting this governor's going to do too. At the very end,
Alden made that statement on his show one time, and right at the end, when we were talking, he said at the end of his term, he'll get a lump
sum,
money.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So that they just say that to get elected.
I did check. Just to clarify here.
You never did do that, did you?
We'll welcome our guest just a second. I want to finish this. I was just trying to get to I went looking on his website. Apparently Governor Bentley has gotten a check. He may not be getting a salary now, but Robert Julian Bentley was issued a check, I guess, for about $3,442. That was for it says here a travel out of state. He must have gone somewhere Wednesday, or was paid Wednesday for some trip out of state. So he may not be drawing a salary, but they do have provided him at least with some travel expenses.
I bet you that's his trip to England.
He went to England?
Or France when the
France
when they went to Airbus and that.
Okay, let me put this on you, Judge. I want to welcome.
I don't know that, but that's what I'm guessing. That amount and being about a month after the fact, I bet you anything that's what it is.
That's probably what it is, I bet you. Yeah.
That's it.
All right, we want to welcome Judge Rusty Turner, who is our guest this morning. Good morning, sir. Thank you for coming to visit us.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Good morning.
That's right.
Mr. Speaker, how are you?
How you doing? Great.
My good. We enjoyed you coming to see us last time.
Well, good. Well, I enjoyed it too.
We talked about a lot of things. What's the most unusual thing about this job that you didn't anticipate, would you say?
I guess probably the variety of people and stories that I come across. There's never a dull moment.
Can you tell us, without mentioning names, who the most unusual story, or the one that really you said, I don't got to wonder about that?
I'm trying to think if anybody really stands out that's probably that's suitable for early morning TV, because I've had some pretty beyond the pale.
Really,
it's just different folks out there, but by and large, most people are they're pretty average. But
you don't find too many guilty, do you? Most of them are not guilty. Are they?
Well, everybody comes into court with that, but the state's got to prove it. But we have a lot of people that go ahead and take the plea and go ahead and take care of their case. We don't try a whole lot. On the average, I'd say on a Monday misdemeanor docket, we're going to try between 7 and 9 cases, but the rest, and that's out of a docket of 70 or 80, so there's a lot of people that are going ahead and taking the plea.
Judge, you have a lot of cases, don't you?
We do have a lot. We do.
How many you have?
In the district court, we're right around 16,000, almost 16,000 cases of really just traffic cases. I believe if I got the numbers right from Judge Cheney, I was talking to him about it not too long ago. But that's just traffic cases for Coleman County.
Really?
Goodness. But misdemeanors, on an average misdemeanor docket, I'm going to say it's 150, and that we do misdemeanors every Monday. So we have 150 cases on average every Monday. Child support about 40 or 50 every other week. Civil cases about 30 every other week. Child dependency, where DHR is stepping in, or family members have had to step in to take children out of homes. That can be 50 to 60 every week.
Wow. These are people. Now, are these people, it's not just Coleman County people we're talking about, right?
That's Coleman County. That's events going
50,
on.
60.
And some of these cases are coming back for reviews. It's not brand new cases,
right,
but we still got to deal with them.
Still cases, isn't it?
Still cases, right. Still cases.
What percentage of those cases that you get every day would you say go into settlement before they go to trial?
Oh, the vast majority of them.
That's what I thought.
Vast majority.
Well, okay, thank goodness never having to deal with that situation. Let me ask you, is it because someone basically admits that they're wrong and they said, look, why go through the expense of a trial? Let's go ahead and get this thing over with?
Well, especially in the case of a criminal case, I mean, if they know whether they did it or not, and our district attorney office has done a real good job of evaluating cases and makes good offers. I mean, we could try everything, but I would be trying nothing but misdemeanor cases every day of the week. I wouldn't be able to get to anything else. Now, when it comes to domestic cases or child support, most people settle their cases. You're dealing with the child support issue is relatively easy to figure out. You take both parents' income, combine it. There's a multiple that you do, a little bit of division, and you figure out what. And there's a schedule that figures out what the child support should be for that person to pay. So that's not really arguing over that. Now you argue over the custody and things like that, but most people work out a settlement on that.
The child custody and the child support issue, that usually is a case involving a father who doesn't want to pay, usually, right?
I started in the DA's office in 1997. I was the child support DA. I handled all those, and that was true. It was 90%, 95% were fathers that didn't pay. Unfortunately, maybe this is because the way society's changing. We have a lot more mothers that don't pay this time. A lot of it's not quite equal opportunity, but we have a lot of situations where moms that don't have custody, they're not paying.
Rusty, you get a lot of child abuse cases.
Fair amount. I don't handle if it's a severe enough. I don't handle it because that's going to be prosecuted as a felony, and that's going to be in circuit court with Judge Nicholas or Judge Hardiman, and of course Judge Williams, who's going to take his place after the first of the year. But we have elements, and especially in the child dependency cases, we have elements of the abuse that we've got to deal with because the child's been taken out of that home because mom, dad, or a family member have abused. And it can be physical abuse, it can be sexual abuse. We even have some cases of mental abuse. It's just but the physical and sexual abuse are the ones that.
Would one of the reasons be that there are more women who are being taken to court for child support because more women are making a better income, or the one that's employed, or is it an issue of drug use and such, possibly?
Well, right. More women are in the workforce today than they have been in the last few years. So that's a factor to play into. You don't have the housewife as much anymore. There's someone that may never get into the workforce. You have a lot of people like my wife did. She worked for a few years, and then she took a few years off to when our children were really young. And took advantage of that opportunity, but now she's back in the workforce. And you have a lot of women that do that. And you have a fair amount of men that are able to do that today. So society's changing just a little bit. I mean, we've got some, Mr. Moms, so to speak, out there that take care of the children while the wife works. But that's relatively rare in Coleman, but it happens, and it works for that family. It's good. Mm-hmm. It's good.
It would be so difficult, I would think, Judge. It would be so difficult to take a job like to run for and win an election and serve in a job where you're constantly under scrutiny, it would seem.
Well, you are. I mean, I think that it's definitely I get recognized in Walmart a lot more, and out to eat. I get stopped for questions, and I think that's probably one thing people might misunderstand is they always want to ask any judge, question. Let me ask you about this case. Let me ask you about this. And ethically, we can't talk about a case.
Right.
And Judge Burleson knows that. I mean, he got stopped many, many times, I'm sure. And somebody well-meaning and well-intentioned said, "Judge, let me tell you, I know you got this case in front of you, but this is how you need to rule on this. Or these are good people, or these are bad people." And that's probably been one of the most difficult things, because I like talking with people. I like working with people and like to try to help them out. But I can't, you can't come to my office and sit down and tell me about a case. There's a proper way to do that. Now, you can be subpoenaed as a witness or called as a witness, or if you're actually involved in the case, I'm going to hear that, but there's going to be a system set up to do that. And that's to kind of go back to one of your first questions. That's probably one of the hardest things I'm dealing with is building that wall a little bit. And it's not that I don't like to or don't want to talk to you. It's just I can't talk to you.
Yeah.
To preserve the integrity of the system, and that's necessary to do that.
Judge, we've had some real fine judges in the past.
Yes, sir.
They were good in the fact that they would help people.
Mm-hmm.
You can help people.
No, not all of them. You're not saying all of them were good, are you?
Well, I don't
Now watch this judge. Now, who are we thinking of, Tom?
Who are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who are you talking about, Thomas?
I'm not talking about anybody in particular.
Well, don't you been that brave?
Haven't all those in the past been Democrat? You must be talking about a Democrat, Judge. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that, but...
Well, there's always good and bad judges. I mean, that's...
And presidents, too. But we won't go there this morning.
The ones that when I served, the ones that I dealt with were good people.
Yeah. Well...
Some of the lawyers didn't think so.
Well, you talking about one, about that. He's kind of...
Now, Tom's insisted on bringing up some really interesting subjects this morning that I really think... And I've always wondered, I'm an outsider. See, he's been in the legal community. You're serving now in officials. Okay, so from an outsider standpoint, okay, you say, now what attorney would run for a job where he's running against the person who's going to rule on cases that he's involved in? I mean, it would seem like that would be kind of malicious to your career or have a bearing. But I don't. Now, see, Tom gave me that look again. That had to. Did that ever cross your mind, Judge, at this job, or do you say?
Well, I mean, obviously the way I ended up, an opening occurred. I wasn't running for an open seat necessarily. Of course, I had to run to keep that seat. Yeah. And it just really hit. The timing was perfect for me. I've been practicing law for 17 years. And been in municipal judge for the city of Coleman for 6 years. So I felt like I had enough real world experience, and that it was just right.
First, one thing I want to bring out is at one time you was in the United States Navy too.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And and just having that real life experience, I think because I'm dealing with folks that have that are coming back from Afghanistan and Iraq, and various circumstances, and you've got to, and knowing, of course, I was peacetime service. I never was any threat of harm or anything, but understand what that military life requires, and then people trying to get integrated back into civilian society, it's a little different. So that helps in some respects.
Judge, when I was in Vietnam, there was this popular tale that guys would tell each other, "Oh, I'll be glad when I get back to the world, when I get back to the States, when I get back. Boy, whenever I get back," they say they give you 30 days. You can do anything you want to your girlfriend or anybody to say, because you're home from combat, that you can do that. None of us ever, that I can recall, or at least that I knew of, took advantage or disadvantage of that supposed fact. I don't know that it was true. But there are a lot of young men and women who are coming home who are unfortunately damaged goods because they're in things like dealing with things that we didn't deal with in Vietnam and in Desert Storm. These IEDs, these explosive devices that you can trigger remotely. I was reading the other day where one of the biggest things that the VA hospitals are dealing with are these men involved in accidents because they're just home and they're constantly looking in the road for something, and they'll swerve unconsciously or not really thinking about it and hit someone thinking that it may be a device that could be
trying to avoid
trigger. Yeah. So what about our veterans? You say you deal with them every day, or a lot, in fact, and undoubtedly they have the same kind of problems the rest of us have, except.
Sure, Chris Van Dyke with Coleman Area Mental Health, he and I and Judge Cheney have talked about it, because we're starting to see some folks come back, and I'm talking about the ones that get in trouble with the law, not that have a legal issue, whether it's be child support or they had a car loan or something like that, but they're Craig Jackson, who's one of our county probation officers, he was telling me a story yesterday, and this just breaks my heart. That he had one gentleman that is on probation and is doing a great job, but he sold his Purple Heart medal to buy meth. And when the system, or when something evil gets a hold of somebody so bad that they can sell that, they nearly paid the ultimate price, but to sell the symbol of that, then we've got a problem. We got to help those folks, if we can.
Okay. The thing about it is those people can't help that.
No.
They can't help it. What they've gone through over there has had an effect on their mind and everything else, and they just can't help that.
Right.
Yeah. Need to take a break. We'll be back after these words.
Old-fashioned. We actually answer the telephone when you call. However, old-fashioned doesn't mean we aren't up to date. With the latest technology, Premier Bank meets the various needs of our customers. Mobile smartphone banking, internet banking, ATMs, convenient offices. At Premier Bank, we have the right products right now with good old-fashioned customer service. At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements.
Meet the KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop. It might just change the way you cook. Induction technology heats the pan and not the cooking surface to offer you a new level of precision, speed, and energy efficiency. 9 settings give you different levels of heat to achieve precise temperatures and amazing responsiveness. Water boils in just seconds, making this the fastest to boil induction cooktop available. The KitchenAid 36-inch induction cooktop.
All right, welcome back. That's Politics. We're talking this morning with District Judge Rusty Turner, talking about a lot of different issues, budget cuts. How has it affected your operation, Judge?
Not too bad yet, because we're a fairly lean operation. It's me and my judicial assistant, Jamie Atkins, and we're constitutionally mandated officers, so they're not going to get rid of us. Where we have seen the impact has been the lesson, or the number of clerks who in the district and circuit clerk's office who are able to get the files ready and get cases prepared for us. Mr. Bates has done a good job of finding some money, some creative ways of finding some money to keep some of those ladies going through this budget crisis. But now, one of the things I think in the long term is going to be a positive is we're trying to go paperless in the court system. As a matter of fact, my civil cases, they're all online. So when somebody files a case, it's electronically, it's made an electronic file, so there's no more paper file that I sit at the bench with. I pull it up on my laptop. And eventually the whole system is going to go that way. The state's going to mandate the rest of civil cases go on paperless, working on criminal cases. Now you're going to still have to have a vehicle of getting exhibits and things out in criminal cases or civil cases. If you got say if it's a civil case with the issue is a damaged tire, you can't scan that and put it into a document. But so there'll still be ways to handle that. But I think that's going to save the state money on paper. It's going to save the process, and then you're going to have that whole file at your fingertips. It's and just, as long as we have a good internet connection, it works. Now that's one thing the state, because there's so many users on the system, the technology it falls a little bit behind. We need a faster server in Montgomery for the computer system, because sometimes I'll be sitting there waiting for it to connect, and it's delayed some things. But usually the hamster gets back on the wheel and it spins back up and it gets going. But if the September 18th amendment doesn't pass, then we will lose some clerks, and that will drastically impact the court system. As a matter of fact, we're talking about losing 6 clerks in the district and circuit clerk's office, and
out of how many? About?
I think we have 10 in the district clerk, and there's 7 in circuit right now. So and that's less than when I started practicing law 18 years ago. And that's
I'm going to lose half of them almost, right?
Right. And so that will slow down the administration of justice quite dramatically, because there's just going to be no way to handle the volume of cases. As I said earlier, we got just 15,000 traffic tickets every year.
Well, before you come on, we were talking about that fellow that filed a suit, to say, look, you can't wait on that money.
Right, the balanced budget.
Yeah, we're going to stop you from doing that. So I don't know what's going to happen to that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's that vote's coming up here soon.
Yep.
But interesting. I think it's probably got some legal merit.
The 46 case. I said it.
You got to have a balanced budget, not a contingent budget.
Yeah.
And that puts our legislature in a heck of a situation. Here they are trying to balance something they don't have money in. If they go ahead and balance what they figure they'll get, they'll have to go ahead and decide where to make cuts, I guess.
And the cuts pretty much would have had to have been immediate.
Yeah.
When we passed that law, one of the reasons we passed it was in case they had emergencies in the budget and so forth, so that they could go there and get money, see. And so now this is an emergency.
It really is.
What if you didn't have that law? You'd been a mess. Look what mess we're in now, and we got the budget. We've got supposed to have a balanced budget. It's unbelievable how money's been spent. It shouldn't have been spent,
Well, it's a difficult situation, and I don't know. We're going to have some soul searching to do after September 18th if it's not approved. Of course, the general consensus among most people, I believe, who study the thing is that if you have a special referendum at a special date, that only the people who support it are probably be the ones to go out and vote for that. I know our state senator, Mr. Bussman, told us when he was on our program last time he supported this referendum in order to make this thing work, that the money will be paid back.
Well, he said he was going to insist that be put in there somewhere. Right. That they will pay it back. Yeah.
My understanding, that money was going to compensate for the Medicare program
and corrections
and prisoners.
Yeah.
Right.
But he never did mention court system.
Well, I think just this not having that infusion would cause them to take from the court system to cover up Medicare, to cover the shortfall and corrections, and so.
Let me ask you, Judge, the faces you see in front of you in these criminal cases, what percentage are returnees? Repeat offenders, would you say?
A good number. I don't have it's unfortunate that I get to know some of these folks fairly well, and you start not only do you know them, you know their kids and their grandparents. I mean, it's there's certain folks that they get in a cycle, and I think that's probably one of the things that's most frustrating is we all make mistakes. I mean, there's not one of us that has never made a mistake somewhere along the way in our life. If you get correct that problem and then don't make the same mistake again, that's how you learn. It's the folks that keep making the same mistake over that gets frustrating, because you give them opportunities and they just don't learn. It's locking them up and throwing away the key is not always the answer. Sometimes you get to that point, but that's probably frustrating. Is the repeat business.
The part of the concern about this September 18th referendum is that if it doesn't pass, then some prisoners will have to be turned loose.
Right.
Okay, so let's say that happens, and some of these guys come right back into your court. Your orders are still the same, right? If they do wrong and it's proven, then they're going to have to go back down, right?
Right. They would go back to jail. Of course, the State Department of Corrections operates under a different system than we do. I mean, me and the circuit, me and the other judges can sentence folks, but they figure out a way to clear the house when they need to, when it gets overcrowded.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is frustrating for the average citizen is they said, well, I heard that person got 5 years. Well, they're back home in 6 months or a year. But I think if we passed a truth in sentencing law where you had to actually serve what you were sentenced, we don't have enough money to build enough prisons to house all the people that would stay there.
That'd be bad.
You talk about a budget buster, there'd be no way we could do it.
California done that. They turned
35,000 people loose last year under threat of a federal judge because they were overcrowded. And our state prison system is more overcrowded than California's was when that order was put up. So all it takes is the right person to file a federal lawsuit, and we could be there too.
You've been a judge how long now?
I was appointed May 25th of 2011. So,
can you, in the time you have been in, over a year now, have you seen an increase in the drug cases, meth cases?
It's stayed pretty steady. Meth and what's not talked about enough, I don't think, is prescription drug abuse is just as much of a problem, if not more, than meth.
Explain how they do this. I mean, how do they get so many different...
They're either stealing from their parents or grandparents, or people are going and getting prescriptions for legitimate reasons, but then they'll turn around and sell the unused portion. Or there's outright theft of the stealing from the pharmacist, and it's a lot. Like I said, it's prescribed for legitimate purposes, but then it's like anything; it can be abused, and people are abusing the prescription drugs. That's a bigger problem because it is a legal drug. It has a legitimate purpose, but people get hooked on things. I know I've talked to several folks that have had some major surgeries, and they see how easy it could have been to get. I got a little twinge. I need to take one of my Lortabs. But they've realized that, hey, I'm going to get hooked on this stuff if I don't do that. So so meth hadn't really increased that I've seen a lot. It's been more the prescription drug abuse, and because it has that approval because it's a prescription.
Right. But it's still abuse.
It's still abuse. It's still
Judge,
abuse.
we're out of time.
All right.
Thank you for coming to see us
Thank you
very much.
Y'all take care.
We're back in the second half with Mayor Max Townson.
I'll try to.
Cheyenne, Cheyenne, where will you be camping tonight? Lonely man, Cheyenne, will your heart stay free and light? Dream, Cheyenne, of a girl you may never love. Move along, Cheyenne, like the restless cloud up above.
At Premier Bank, we take pride in serving our community. We respect our customers, and we've won awards for our ethical conduct. We're motivated to do all we can for you, and we're interested in your banking needs. We're efficient, safe, and sound, and our relationships with our customers are second to none.
At Premier Bank, we put the customer first.
There's stuff around your house, but we don't make stuff. We make ovens. Dual fuel, double ovens. And they bake so evenly that now delicious is something you can depend on. We only make things for one room. The best room. Your kitchen. We're devoted to it. And you can feel it in everything we make. Nobody knows the kitchen like KitchenAid.
Overwhelmed by home refinancing offers from telephone solicitors and direct mail advertising, and then find you're not qualified for a specific plan? The Mortgage Center, a hometown lender, compares the rates from all home loan lenders and the qualifications of the various government programs to find a plan best suited to you. The Mortgage Center helps Coleman County people purchase and refinance their homes.
This is Pat Newton. Call us today and let us tailor a loan program to your specific needs and requirements. Welcome back to Today on 2. It's time to give away our prizes on Friday, and we have the High Tide Meal Special for 2 people at High Tide Sports Grill. And we also have 2 cupcakes from Frosting's Bakery. Those are the prizes that we have for today. Of course, you have to answer one of our questions about our merchant ads, so let's look at those ads right now. Mr. Plumber, Plumbing, Sewer, and Drain Services, a business locally owned and operated. They offer free estimates on new construction. Contact Adam Burgess. He's the owner of Mr. Plumber.
Mr. Hicks Menswear, they offer business men's suits and sport coats. They were also the Reader's Choice Award for winner for men's best clothing.
Uniform Place has the latest styles, color, and comfort. And speaking of comfort, they have the cargo pant constructed for comfort, now available at Uniform Place.
Tires for Less is more than just a tire store. They offer air conditioning, oil changes, and minor engine repair. They have 80 years of experience on servicing cars. Plus, mention you saw them on CATV2 and receive $5 off an oil change.
And right next door, you'll find Earl's Body Shop, and there's a picture of everybody working at Earl's Body Shop. And of course, they offer 24-hour wrecker service. Towing is available, large or small. Call Earl's Body Shop.
The Tutor Doctor offers in-home one-on-one tutoring, also free consultations. You can locate them at inhometutor-alabama.com to help them make this the best school year ever.
And People's Tires has the HydroMaster tire. This is new, and you save as much as 50% off the cost of new tires. It's a premium quality pull-off tire.
Fest Hall Market Plots open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. They have a variety of fresh vegetables, and the Senior Nutrition Program vouchers are accepted.
Deb's Bookstore, your hometown bookstore just down the road. Used books are half price every day, and new books are 20% off every day. That's Deb's Bookstore across from the parking deck. There we go with some of our merchant ads. Our phone number, 256-734-7399. If you need help with weight loss, or lifestyle coaching? Which one of our advertisers should you call? If you deal with help with weight loss or lifestyle coaching, helping with the family budget, things like that, who is the business or the person that you should call?
Could I give a hint?
Give a hint.
He was a guest on our show this very week.
Oh, that's right. He was on a program this week. Who are we talking about? 256-734-7399 is our telephone number. And the first person with the correct answer receives the meal special for 2 people at High Tide Sports Grill, and also 2 of those gigantic cupcakes from Frosting's Bakery. I dare say you cannot eat more than one at a time. Get one and take the other one home. Or even better, take a friend. Who are we talking about? Can help you with weight loss and lifestyle coaching. I think we have a caller ready to go. Hello, who's calling?
This is Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. From where are you calling?
Here in Coleman.
From Coleman. Okay. Who can help you with weight loss?
Howard Rogers at Baldwin Counseling Center.
You got that right, Dr. Howard Rogers. Stay on the line, please. Thanks for calling in. The Baldwin Counseling Center, Dr. Howard Rogers. Now let's look at the rest of our merchant ads. This time we start with Mullins Body Shop, located on Highway 31 South at Phelan. 52 years of auto body repair and towing, and of course you can still count on them today. That's Mullins Body Shop.
Sweet deals are available at Dairy Queen. Ask for any 2 for $3.33 or 4 for $5.55. They have the Brownie of the Month, which is the Blizzard of the Month, which is Brownie and M&M's Blizzard.
Should be the Brownie of the Month. I like that idea. High Tide Sports Grill. Tonight is Friday night, boiled shrimp night tonight. Saturday, baby back ribs and live country music at High Tide Sports Grill.
Knight Free Insurance is providing insurance coverage for 3 generations, from Paul Knight all the way to Westgate Free today. It's one of the top 10 growth agencies in the state of Alabama for auto owners. Knight Free Insurance.
Shimmer and Glow Tanning Boutique, open 8 until 8 Monday through Friday, 8 to 4 on Saturday. Now, in addition to tanning, they also sell lotion, swimwear, handbags. They even provide child care if necessary. Shimmer and Glow.
Open the door to history and fine prints. We're talking about Renard's Gallery and Gifts. They offer jewelry, framing, and prints. RenardsGallery.com or on First Avenue.
All it takes is charisma and Doug Doggett Jewelers. Women can change their hairstyles, clothes, and their minds. Now they can change their jewelry with charisma. One of the many reasons you shop at Doug Doggett Jewelers.
Baldwin Counseling Center. Having problems, need to talk, or want privacy? Help is only a phone call away. You can call Howard Rogers at 737-3087. He solves problems one at a time. Baldwin Counseling Center.
And fitness opportunities are available at the Wellness and Aquatic Center. They have the Whirlpool Spa. They have the Full Fitness Center, weights, cardio, and professional training at the Wellness and Aquatic Center. And those are some of the merchant ads we have for today. Now it's time to check in and see who's celebrating birthdays this weekend.
That's right. On this Friday, Edith Elliott will be celebrating her 23rd birthday, so happy birthday to you.
Actually, Edith's birthday was yesterday. That's what we mean by the
23rd. I see.
But she would be happy to acknowledge she's 23 years old.
Yes, of course.
She's probably about 30.
Happy birthday on Saturday to Paul White and Jerry Mason. And on Sunday to Howard Perry. And now it's time to draw for our 8x10 portrait from Baker Photography and our ice cream cake from Dairy Queen.
Okay, our weekly winner for the birthday is Jerry Mason. Jerry Mason's birthday is tomorrow, right? We just had that on there. We've had a lot of anniversaries this week and even more coming up this weekend.
Yes, for Saturday, Belinda and Dwight Rice celebrate a birthday, and also Jared and Angela Eubanks.
And Calvin and Gail Key celebrating anniversaries. Now, here's the list of everybody that's been on this week.
Max and Neil Graves, Jeremy and Jessica Howard, Belinda and Dwight Rice, Jared and Angela Eubanks, and Calvin and Gail Key. And now it's time to draw for their 15% off at the Candle Garden.
Okay, our winner is Max and Nell, the Graves. Win our anniversary prize from the Candle Garden. Now let's check the weather forecast for the week. Mitch Smith Chevrolet on Cherokee Avenue. Make the switch to Mitch. Another beautiful sunshiny day in Cullman, Alabama today with a high around 90. Clear tonight, low of 66. Sunny again tomorrow with a high of 87.
Now, in the big city jails, they give sobriety tests.
Sobriety test?
Yeah, to find out whether or not a man is sober. And I think we ought to do it here, too.
Well, Barney, I believe a sobriety test is given to a prisoner when you first bring him in. Now, you ought to have done that to Otis last night.
Oh, Andy, you know we couldn't have given a sobriety test to Otis last night.
Well, why not?
He was too drunk.
The Andy Griffith Show, starring Andy Griffith, with Ronnie Howard. Also starring Don Knotts.
Ride of your life. You'll find it at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales in Coleman. I'm talking about sharp cars and trucks that'll get you noticed and deals to loadable ease. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it and find it for less at Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales. Come on, North Alabama. It's time you had a sharp set of wheels and a really good deal. Billy Ray Taylor Auto Sales, serving you from two big lots, Highway 31 North and 31 South in Coleman, Alabama.
Voting has gone through a lot of changes in America since the days of the early West. Because they were short of pencils and paper at that time, they used various things as ballots. Feathers, beans. In one section of Arizona, they used bullets. If it was loaded, it was a vote for one candidate. And if it was empty, it was a vote for another. If a fellow wasn't careful, his whole campaign could blow up right in his face.
Dick Powell. Zane Grey Theater.
Welcome back to That's Politics. Our guest this morning is Mayor Max Townson. Thank you, Mayor, for coming to visit us this morning.
Glad to be here.
Man,
I like that sign.
It's like you've got a sometimes we call us a yard. It can be a yard at times. You brought us some paraphernalia. Kind of interesting here, actually. The Decatur Daily had a Q&A session with the mayoral candidates for the great city of Decatur. And one of the candidates, Gail Busby, referenced Coleman in her remarks, didn't she?
She did. She has actually been with us as a part-time employee hired through a temp agency to teach our people how to run an election. Mm-hmm. She was in office up there as an employee for like 42 years. Mm-hmm. And she teaches classes about elections, about city government, everything. So she was down here to help us because Ruth Rose ended up, with a brain tumor. And so she came in my office one day and she said, "Mayor, I think I'm going to run for mayor of Decatur. What do you think?" I said, "Well, that's great." Mm-hmm. And then she said, "Your signs are very visible. What do you think I should do?" And I said, "Well, that's a no-brainer, pink." And she says, "Is that too feminine?" I said, "You are a female."
Well, she references in some of her comments her answers to the questions by the reporter. She says, "I learned in Coleman, the city of Coleman, that they actually have a problem filling a lot of specialized manufacturing jobs like machinists."
Absolutely.
And she went on to say that no matter how they voted, talking about the Coleman City Council, no matter how they voted on an issue, when they walked out of City Hall, they were unified in implementing their decision.
Read that next sentence, too.
It said they had a great dynamic, and I credit their mayor, Max Townson, for keeping everyone balanced. I think I think you do that by consistently communicating with every council member.
And
so that's quite a praise.
George, today, that communicating skills is very easy. Technology. So anything that's happening, all I have to do is sit down and email it or text it. Mm-hmm. So I keep them informed on any and everything that's going on.
This is an interesting election cycle, Mayor. Gosh, I look at it. What you got 3 opponents?
Mm-hmm. 3 opponents, and I'm the only one of all the elections that is opposed. There was no opposition for the school board.
no opposition for the council. So that kind of tells me there's not a lot of disgruntled voters.
Well, I just like to say this. I've been around here 82 years, and I
sure
believe
don't look at
this time the city council and the mayor, all of you have had to do a good job because you've been called on more. You had to work on that dam out there and get that going, and you've done that. And then many other things, that y'all have done. It would have been helpful to the people here in Coleman County, City.
Tom, you said something about Duck River Dam. Let me just give you my honest opinion. 20 years ago, I questioned that, Yeah. And I thought it would never come to fruition. And then we had the drought of 2000. And then what really convinced me, excuse me, was in 2007, the dam was down Lake Catoma like 26. It would have been 28, but they had added 2 feet, to the spillway. So that convinced me then that we could not go into the future without an alternative water source. If you don't believe that, look out west right now. Yeah. Water one day will become like oil. If we don't make sure we've got plenty of it, you can't prosper. Farmers can't prosper.
Another thing that y'all handled real well, and I think we probably got the best ordinance for alcohol in the state of Alabama, is that alcohol situation. Y'all went to Athens and all these other towns, and y'all, when y'all came with one, you came with one that's workable, and I don't hear no comments about anybody being against it.
The thing I like, George, is when you drive through this town, you don't even know we're well.
You're right, yeah. Let me ask you, Mayor, let's go back to the Duck River Dam project. Okay. I've not seen any projections on the cost. What is the latest figure?
We went to the bond market and borrowed $58 million. We didn't know, we were thinking 60, something like that. The engineers came back and said, we believe that if we use roller compacted concrete, that it will help in the cost. So we're hoping that we don't have to go back to the bond market. And now that $58 million was also to pay off some debt. They owed the city, the utility board owed the city $1 million that they had put forth towards the project, and they paid that off out of the bond issue.
In the forum this week, one of your opponents brought up the issue of vendors. And later in the story, in the Coleman Times story, she said that we need more Coleman vendors. But in reality, vendors that show up are the ones that pay to show up, right?
Sir. Yes, sir.
And did we have any local folks that were interested in doing it?
Absolutely. We had numerous. But the big vendors that she's talking about is probably beer. We don't have any vendors like that here. And what they did was they bought those. You hit the nail on the head. They paid like $50,000, to set up and control the beer.
What vendors was she talking about?
Beer out of Birmingham, like Superior Beverage. And we wouldn't have anybody that big here to handle that.
You're sort of on a precipice there whenever you have a big event where you're dependent on the public to support it, which they did last year. Do you have reason to believe this next year there will be just as many people or more?
George, we've actually had a meeting with Sarah Evans,
right,
country singer out of Birmingham. She's married to Jay Barker. We went down there and met with her. She wants to do something in Coleman. She loves Coleman. Jay Barker was a roommate of DeLand Trumbull at the University of Alabama. So Jay knows a lot about Coleman. She says that they looked at buying the name June Jam, but she said, I didn't want that. I wanted something that would be, a legacy for myself. And so we're meeting with her in October to see what we can do as far as entertainment.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that was it.
We're going to be running out of time. We've got a couple of minutes left.
Okay.
I'd like for you to tell our viewers why the city of Coleman should vote for Max Townson, re-elect.
I feel like that I have represented this community with honesty, integrity, and professionalism. A mayor is not a job. It's servant leadership. And servant leadership is not how many people serve the leader, but how many people does the leader serve. When my phone rings at City Hall if I can help a citizen of this community, I'm going to do that. And that's what it's all about. You got to have a vision. I have that vision. Not only do we recruit industry, but you have to maintain the jobs you already have here. Topre announced a $109 million expansion. Utaka, all across the board, they're announcing these expansions. Rahab. And so that's what you got to do. 75% of the jobs that we create through industrial development, through Peggy and Dale, go to the county. 78% of the employees in the city of Coleman live in the county. We're not an island. Coleman's not an island. We're in Coleman County. When you look at ad valorem tax, the city, the residents that live in the city, we pay $1 million in ad valorem tax to the county. So we all pay taxes. And that's just something that you can't avert. You got to do it.
Thank you, Mayor. We're out of time. But I appreciate you coming to visit us.
You
Come
bet.
back again here.
Thank you.
Did a good job.
Yeah.
For today on Two That's Politics.
There's something about the moment when you first walk into that new home. It took a lot to get there, but Eva Bank made it easy to get the loan you needed. Eva Bank, as a part of the community, makes lending decisions right here where you live. Our lenders make the process quick and easy with rates you'll love. Visit your neighbors at Eva Bank today and let them help you with your new home loan, manufactured home, refinance, or remodel. Eva Bank, part of the community we call home.
Life lived in black and white is not a life lived. Today, I choose color. To see it. To feel it. To be in it. To be upon it. And to live a life surrounded by it. Today, I put on a fresh coat.
At Premier Bank, we are very proud of the long-lasting relationships we have with our customers. We'll go almost anywhere to meet your banking needs.
Who is the tall, dark stranger there? Maverick is the name. Riding the trail to who knows where. Luck is his companion. Gambling is his game. Smooth as a handle on a gun. Maverick is the name. Wild as the wind in Oregon. Blowing up a canyon. Easier to tame.
Our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and Coleman Jefferson Gas. Campaign 2013 kickoff lunch for United Way will be Tuesday, August the 28th from 11:30 to 1 in the Colonel Coleman Room at POB2 CRMC. Guest speaker will be Steve Marshall, and tickets are $15 each at the United Way office. Hearing loss and you, this is a Lunch and Learn seminar presented by otolaryngologist Bruce Morgan. This will be Thursday, August the 30th from 11:30 to 1 p.m. It's at CRMC's Colonel Coleman Room, and it's sponsored by Women's First and Senior Choice members. Our community billboards are brought to you by Pepsi, Mountain Dew, and Coleman Jefferson Gas. If you would like to email us a billboard, you can send it to us at channel2coleman@gmail.com, fax it to us 256-734-7680, or friend us on Facebook, Channel 2 Coleman.
Weather forecast for today. It'll be another sunny day with a high around 90. Clear tonight, low of 66. Sunny again tomorrow with a high around 87. Well, Paige, who's coming to see us next week?
On Monday, we'll be talking with Tony Leonardi from the Sweet Tater Fest and also Jim Walker from the Coleman County Fair.
It'll be a busy week next week. Thank you for watching Today on 2.
Have a great day.
Yeah.